the mind has found itself to extend itself outside of the mind by those devices, as if we were not distracted before enough. So the mind has to invent, because it's the mind that invents all the things around you, including the phone. It's so clever, huh?
Yes. Okay. Time check. We have 6 minutes. And
still says connecting.
oh, there you are! Yay! I see you.
But I don't know. Oh, okay. So let's see if all these numbers, I gotta hide them. Do you see these numbers?
Yes.
So,
Ooh, do you have Oprah's?
hold on. Let me see if I can.
Do you have Arnold Schwarzenegger's number on this?
No. Remove. Oh my God, there's a shitload of. Oh. Okay. Remove. How can I just shift? No.
Well, that's not going to help, because
Yeah.
pull up the presentation and see if we can still
Let's
see.
Let's see if I do the presentation. Where do you see me? No, you don't see me.
Well, there's supposed to be. I mean, all the other ones, the webcam just appeared at the top.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so. Okay, let me see. All right.
Four minutes.
Okay.
With the presentation, they're not going to be able to see your screen, so I wouldn't worry about that.
Okay. All right. So.
And I was trying to find something about the webcam. Should be under options. When you go to do you have the go-to webinar toolbar?
Go to meeting, yeah.
Yeah. Does it offer you an option under view for the webinar, for the webcam?
There's a preference. Okay, a webcam. It just says your camera. It's just connected to the FaceTime HD camera.
Is disconnected?
That's what it connects to by default.
Well, that's probably why.
Mm-hmm. So if we went to, it's probably too late now.
Yeah, 2 minutes. Yeah, 1 minute.
Doesn't give you.
Yeah,
Okay.
just go ahead and pull up the presentation and do it.
Okay. You want to me to put it in big screen? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when I'm ready to start, I just play, right?
No.
Okay.
Well, I'm not sure what slide show it is.
I can do that like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then go to the top and open up your screen fully. You have it like small.
This one?
Oh, wait a minute. That's me. Never mind.
Okay.
Disregard that. All right.
Okay.
So it is 7 o'clock. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And I'll begin. Let me get set up here. I'm going to hit start broadcast in 3, 2. Good evening. Welcome back, Ship Familia, to the latinXfactor Sharpen Your Professional Edge program. Happy New Year and new decade. So I'm Dr. Dora Renaud, Senior Director of Academic Programs here at SHIP, and what a treat we have for you tonight. We are now into our second webinar in a series of 3 to get you ready for the new year, or better yet, get you into SHIP shape. So last month we had our special guest was Manny de la Cruz from Exxon, and he helped everyone build New Year's resolutions. So those of you who are coming back, I hope you all are sticking to those. And this webinar series will actually help you develop, reach, and sustain your goals to live a smarter, healthier lifestyle to get you into the best ship shape that you can be to get your year started right. So our second webinar is Create Your Optimum State of Inner Fitness. So you will learn multiple ways to manage your stress, as well as some proven methods for retraining and sustaining your inner fitness. So our special guest tonight is a 2-time award winner, Mr. Universe himself, Nordine Zouareg. He teaches high performance individuals how to create their inner fitness and learn habits that increase productivity while sustaining balance. He is an internationally acclaimed wellness and fitness expert, author, and speaker. Some of you may have seen him at the convention last year. So Nordine, welcome back to SHIP. How are you?
Hi, Dora. I am absolutely great. How about you?
Doing fine.
Great. Did you have a great New Year? Did it start with a big bang?
Definitely.
Same here.
Okay.
So, hello guys. I hope some of you are people that I already saw last time I spoke. All gorgeous, magnificent people. So, let's do this. Well, this is me, by the way. I was supposed to be on the screen where you could see me speak, but for some reason, the webcam is not working. So you're gonna have to just deal with me on a picture. So these are the slides that are introducing me. You know, one of the things that I hate more than anything is introducing myself and showing the good things that I accomplish in life. But you know, it's to me, I'm just a normal person. Okay, Dora. So let's do the poll number 1. Who is in our audience?
Okay, let me get that set up. And we're launching the poll. So attendees, please let us know if you're undergraduate, graduate, early career, or established career. And we have 75% that have voted, 83% still going. And at 92%, we'll go ahead and close the polls here and we'll share the results. And we actually have no students tonight. They are all early career or established career individuals. So this is great, Nordine.
Wonderful, wonderful. That means there are people that are really, really established and want to know the tools to maintain sanity.
Yes.
Because as a well-established person in your career, you can only imagine the amount of stress that one goes through. By the way, if you're hearing the noise, it's my little French bulldog is under my desk and he doesn't want to go anywhere. So luckily he doesn't bark, so bear with me. So let me get to the presentation itself. This is my book, Mind Over Body, who was 12 times best-selling on Amazon. But my baby that is coming out is InnerFitness. Really, I'm putting a lot of time for this book. 5 steps to eliminating inner conflicts and regaining inner peace. As a matter of fact, what you're going to learn tonight, some of it will be in that book, is due out in the fall of 2020. Again, as a fitness professional and also high performance coach, I always emphasize on the person as a whole. A whole being is comprised of 4 parts. I always use the analogy of the car with 4 cylinders. I know there are cars with 8 and 6 cylinders and maybe more than that, but let's take the example of the car with 4 cylinders. Let's imagine that you're in your car and all of a sudden the car is only running on 3 cylinders. How do you think your car is going to start running if you don't take care of the problem? Ultimately, the car will, or eventually the car will stop if you don't do anything about repairing that cylinder. This is sort of what we're going to talk about tonight, you know, keeping in mind that the, I don't know if you guys are seeing the whole, let me know if you're seeing the whole presentation, because I'm seeing my, my little screen here.
Yes, Nordine, you're fine.
Okay, good.
Okay,
so I was saying that this is what I basically wanted to share with you is that concept of the 4 cylinders. So I go further than that, and I call them the 4 core components that in order for our life to function fully, we need to have those 4 components work in synergy. And those are super crucial for the manifestation of anything or everything that we want to and desire to achieve, whether it's a great relationship, money, have a you know, a well-rounded and balanced life. Because I don't really believe, I work with a lot of people who have great wealth, and some of them, when they came to see me, guess what? They were functioning on 3 cylinders, and trust me, there was a great deal of unhappiness there. Whenever you do not have those 4 components, you start to feel unbalanced. Poll number 2, Dora. So how do you define wellness, guys? How do you define wellness? The way you think about wellness.
Okay, the poll is launched. And we have 50% have voted. Got 75. And 92% have voted, so I'm going to close the poll. I'm going to share the results here. And everyone got we have 100% that responded with condition of being in good physical, emotional, and mental health.
Well, you guessed right. You are absolutely right, because it is exactly what the definition of wellness in the dictionary is. Forgive me if I'm playing around the keyboard here. Wellness, the state or condition of being in good physical, emotional, and mental health. Well, I'll go further than that. So what does that little description really mean? First of all, that description shows or indicates three aspects of life: mind, body, and spirit. We are talking about the four states that help so many of my clients, including myself, from going to a scrawny kid of 19 years old who didn't know what to do with his life to becoming, first of all, before becoming Mr. Universe and Mr. World, Mr. Europe. I have 2 degrees, and that's not nothing. You know, I'm proud of my degrees, of my schooling. You know, I've achieved a lot. Wonderful kids, but this was not always the case. That balanced life, or I call it moment to moment harmony, or because I don't really believe in life and balance, because there's no such a thing as life and balance. And here's why. You can be perfectly okay, and then you get a phone call from your teenager, or you get a phone call from your husband or wife, and there's a problem. Then all of a sudden you're not in balance anymore. So there are no 24/7, or there is no 24/7 life balance. There is a moment to moment equilibrium, and that's where the 4 states come in. So the first one, hold on a second. Okay, the never parks. Okay, so the first one is the mental aspect of your life. I call that your mental fitness. How well can you focus? Again, how well can you focus when you're at work and you're in front of your office? Most of the time, most days, how well can you focus? And I'm not saying you focusing 2 hours and the rest of your day is trash. No. I am talking about a work day that is sustained with mental energy. Okay. In other words, do you feel a constant flow of energy when you're in front of your computer, or when you're working on a task? Or do you feel drained after a half hour and you need coffee, or you need any what I call spiritual substitute, such as uppers or whatever that helps you get focused? So that's the first question. Are you feeling drained, or are you feeling mentally sharp most of the time? I guess that also get to the same question that I just asked. So how well can you focus? How are you feeling drained, or are you feeling mentally sharp most of the time? Poll number 3, Dora. How do you manage stress?
Okay. We are launching the poll. We have 40% that have voted, 75%. Okay, 90%. We'll close the poll and share. So we have 17% go to happy hour, 33% go to work out, 25% meditate, and 25% comfort eating.
Great, great. I like the honesty. Well, when you really think and look at this, it shows some sort of balance, right?
Definitely.
Now, the going to work out after a long work day, and do you know that sometimes working out is actually making it worse? Not all the time, of course. 75% of the time working out will make it great. But if you go into workout at 7, 8, or 9 p.m. at night, it could be detrimental. Why? Because you're actually adding more stress. Your body is actually wanting to relax and calm down for the night, and then you are putting stress on your body. Your body now wants to wake up. It doesn't want to go and relax and mainly sleep, which is something that is crucial for your optimum energy, for optimum functioning. Sleeping, and we'll get to that, is super important.
And Nordine, when I used to work out at night, and I would be full of adrenaline when I got home.
Yeah, and that's
so hard to sleep because of that.
So there are research out there that really, really emphasize on two things. Drinking caffeine after 2 o'clock is really not conducive to your sleep or quality of sleep, and working out after 4 p.m. also can, not all the time, because I've seen people working out at night and they were sleeping fine. But for good quality of sleep and really to get the benefit of relaxation, working out at night is really not something that I would recommend. Anyway, so that was a big one in the voting. The other one was 25% go to happy hour, and that I love that. As long as they remain happy those hours. And let me explain to you what I mean by that. You go and you're happy and you get a drink and you're still happy, you get 2 drinks, you're fine after 3 drinks and you pulled over and you end up in jail. So that is not too happy for me. That's not the definition of happiness. And also, drinking alcohol at night is also not conducive to good quality of sleep, especially deep sleep. Alcohol, yes, makes you relax, but it really makes a dent into your quality of sleep. So the other answer was, what was it? Do you have it in front of you?
25% meditation.
Meditation. Okay. This is one of the tools that I recommend to boost your mental energy. What we're trying to do here is to remember we have the emotional, mental, physical, spiritual aspects of life. Let's think that for a minute that those are reservoirs. And the more we use them, we deplete them. And when we are not refilling or replenishing those reservoirs, we start tapping to the next one and the next one and the next one. After you tap on all 4, you get to what I call inner conflict, inner chaos. And that is not a good place to be at. So one of the tools that I recommend to energize or to boost that mental energy is meditation. And guys, meditation is now, when I started meditating 30 years ago, I really, it wasn't, nobody was talking about it the way they're talking about it now. They're making it as if it was a huge deal. And there's so many courses out there, books about it, and there's even seminars about or retreats about meditation. Guys, don't be fooled. Meditation is simply that, to meditate, meaning to sit quiet, comfortably, where you're not going to be disturbed, and just let go of your thoughts. So in other words, I was telling Dora earlier, many people are telling their student in yoga class or meditation class that you need to sort of force your thoughts out of your mind. That's not possible. We don't do that. The thoughts are part of us, okay? However, you can quiet down your mind. There's a saying that goes something like this: what you resist persists. What you resist persists. In other words, if you're trying to chase your thoughts away, they'll stick. So the key here is just to go with them, closing your eyes, like I said, find a nice comfortable position, and laying down or sitting on with your back erect and closing your eyes, taking deep breaths through the nose and out through the mouth, and just quieting your mind. You can use what we call a mantra, a word, like I like to use love. Whenever thoughts arise, you say love silently in your mind. And what happened is that the thoughts go away and it's replaced by that mindful word because you're saying it in the moment, love. And when they come back, you say that again until you find yourself in what we call a zone of no mind or no thought. You can achieve that again. When you start meditating or when you're meditating, I don't care how long you've been meditating, do not have the goal of chasing your thoughts or pushing your thoughts away. Do not make it a goal. There is no goal in meditation. You know, like there is no really, when you eat is because you're hungry. When you go to sleep is because you're tired. When you go meditate it's because you want to relax. There is no goal per se. Okay, I'm going to go meditate and my goal is not to think. That is pointless. Okay, I remember my meditation teacher back in the years used to say, you know, I've been meditating for over 40 years and sometimes I feel like ordering a pizza and I just stop meditating. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. There is no goal. You just sit down whenever you can and just quiet down your mind. That's all it is. There is some meditation. Now, the next one, reading stimulating books. As long as they are stimulating, what does that mean? Well, they are bringing some sort of positive impact in your life. Reading things that are bringing you down is not really recommended when you're already mentally depleted. Doing puzzle is absolutely the thing to do because it's like working out, for your brain. Okay, it makes your brain stronger. And there are so many applications that have some apps for, or some sort of games that you could use to make your mind or your brain actually stronger. Reading positive and relevant articles in the paper. Now, I'm sure that most of you don't read the paper anymore, but if you are looking at your phone whenever there is an alert about the news or whatever that pops up on your phone, a word of warning: stress, great stress can be created or triggered by those things. When you are all of a sudden getting your phone and you're looking at the news or the latest news in the morning, you're barely awake and you're already reading those negative news that are, guess what? They are actually creating more stress, therefore depleting your mental energy. They're depleting. So Again, remember, whenever you are reading something or watching something negative and you feel the stress, because we can feel it. You feel that, know that you're actually depleting yourself. So stop immediately. It's not really healthy. I understand that you need to be, abreast with the news. I understand that perfectly. It's okay. It doesn't mean that you have to look at your phone 20 million times a day. Once is sufficient, and do not attach yourself with it. You engage. Being engaged and attaching yourself to something are two different things. When you're attaching yourself to something like you're getting reactive to a person who said something, or you're getting a negative reaction when you're reading something, you actually are using what we call ego. When you're engaging yourself with the task at hand or with a person, with proactivity, responding positively, you now are acting out of love and it more in a place of mindfulness. So again, if you're reading positive and relevant articles in the paper, you actually are engaged with the article, and the fact or the attachment to something negative will actually deplete your energy, mental energy. So another thing that you could do, I don't know how many of you like to travel. They say traveling is the antidote to ignorance. I can attest to that. I've traveled the world 4 different times to do seminars, to compete, and all of that. And I'll tell you, learning about people, learning about culture, learning about how other people think has really brought an enormous amount of knowledge to me and my family, because I share that with my family as well. So traveling whenever you can, please do that. Having fun more often. Again, we live in a society, the American society is a society that is super busy, overwhelmed, and people don't have time to have, fun, often. So how do we determine, or what do I mean by having fun? Having fun, I'm not asking you to go and get wasted. Having fun is go and play with, if you have children, go play with your children. Are you spending time with your children? Go have fun with them. Go do things that kids do. And don't get too serious. Don't be too serious. Put that seriousness in the work that you do and allow some time to have fun. Emotional fitness. This one is a big one. I really want you to pay attention to this one, because this is the cylinder I was talking about earlier. The one that most clients come to see me, the one cylinder that is actually not working, or the reservoir that is empty totally, and that is the emotional fitness. They are not emotionally fit. So how do we even know when that happens? Well, how happy are you? Have you ever asked yourself, stopped and asked yourself, how happy am I? How are you feeling upbeat? Are you feeling upbeat most of the time, of course? Not always, but most of the time, are you feeling upbeat? Are you feeling enthusiastic about things in your life? You wake up in the morning and you're like, oh my God, I get to do that. Or I get to go to work. Not, I have to go to work. No, I get to go to work. I get to see my girlfriend. I get to do this. Not, I have to. Okay, that is a lack of enthusiasm when you say, I have to. So catch yourself. If you or someone else is saying, I have to do this, stop yourself or stop them and correct yourself or correct them by saying, I get to do this. You know why? Because you're still alive. That's why you get to do this. Now, the other one is, are you optimistic about life, about your work, about your relationship, about the state of the world? Are you happy? Again, same question as the first one. I guess there's a reason why we're asking that twice. Most people that I see are so stressed out, so overwhelmed, like as I said earlier, that they don't even remember feeling happy. That's a sad thing to say, but it's true. You know why? Because most of them have identified happiness with the material world, with things that they don't have yet, and neglected the things that they do have. In other words, they're always thinking about, okay, I'm working hard to get this or to go to this place. I won't be happy until I get this or that. But then when they have it, they start thinking about something else, and then happiness fades away. It becomes elusive. Happiness becomes elusive when that's the thing you do to get to feel happy. If you think that the material world, the outside world is going to make you happy, I have news for you. You'll never feel happy. And that's a truth, not because I've gone through this, but because of thousands of people that I worked with. When people now are, most people that I work with, and I would probably say everyone, now have identified happiness with the way they feel. In other words, when they wake up in the morning and had a great night's sleep and they're not depleted, they're not feeling like there's a truck that run them away or run over them. That's what really happiness is that sense of well-being. It's not about achievement. Okay, achievement and happiness are two different things. When you achieve something, you're not necessarily happy. You are satisfied. You have achieved something that you had as a goal. You're now satisfied, but not necessarily happy. Happiness is not an outside event. It's an inner game. Are you feeling energized most of the time? Again, are you feeling energized? And when I say that, is you get the guy who wakes up in the morning, the mind wakes him up, and the body is still tired, still wants to stay in bed, but the mind woke him up, and he is now on his phone, checking the mail, texting, getting phone calls, and jumping in his car, stopping at Starbucks, getting a 12-ounce coffee macchiato, and then after the coffee, he feels great, only to feel like crap 30 minutes later. That's not energy. That's fake energy. What I call feeling energized is without what I called earlier substitute, the spiritual substitute, caffeine, drugs, alcohol, all of these things. Are you feeling energized when you're natural, when you first get out of bed and you have that sustained energy throughout the day? Most of you, I'm sure, are going to say, well, that's probably impossible to achieve. But I'm here to say to you that it is possible to feel energized throughout the day. How do you boost your emotional fitness? Well, the first one, like I said earlier, is meditating. First thing in the morning is what I like, is when I like to do it. Before my mind already has taken control. I am just calming down the monster, so to speak. That tiger that wants to get out of the cage, just tame it. And how do you do that? You don't even get out of your bed. Just sit, put your back against your bed, and meditate. Being mindful, Dora. Earlier you were saying that. What is the definition between meditation and being mindful? Correct?
Yeah. What is the difference between the two?
The difference is simple. Meditation is an activity that you do. Mindfulness is a state of being. So let me explain to you. Being mindful is also being aware. The other word for mindfulness is awareness. So most of the time, one has to make sure that one is present, not living in the past or the future. And I'm giving you I'm going to give you an example, guys. So if you ought to touch yourself now, touch your arm or your legs, and what do you feel? Your body, right? It's alive. See, I'm touching my arms, it's alive. That body has always been here in the present. Would you agree? I think, Dora, would you agree?
I think I would.
Yeah. And why is that? You have never seen your body in the future, nor have you seen the body in the past. It's always been here. It doesn't go anywhere. The only thing that goes everywhere else is the mind, either in the past, regretting things, or the future, thinking about something that have not happened, maybe will never happen. That is being mindful. When you are aware that you are here and now fully engaged and present. That state of mind, being mindful, helps with your emotional fitness. Why? Because the number one cause of unhappiness is being somewhere else than here. It's wanting to be there, and when you get there, you want to be elsewhere. That's the cause, the number one cause of unhappiness. Think about it. The family that spends 3 or 4 years preparing for a vacation they want to go to Paris, they're so excited. The kids are talking about their trip for 3 years. Oh, we're going to go. And the day comes, they all go and they're all in a hurry to go. They get there and they spend their time behind their camera. Most of the time is spent taking pictures and posting those pictures on social media, only to go back home after a week and looking at the pictures, and they don't even remember they saw what they're seeing on the picture. Can you believe that? That's not mindfulness, guys. That's not mindfulness. Going to the office and answering a phone call, yelling at your colleague, looking at your smartphone, doing a million things at a time, it's not being mindful. You're not engaged in a task. So therefore, you are spreading yourself thin. You're everywhere else and nowhere at all. You're everywhere else and nowhere at all. Productivity tanks, your performance tanks, because you are depleting your emotional reservoir. One of the things that helps me when I feel overwhelmed with stress is I stop what I do and go out in nature and just walk. Just walk. And when I walk, I try to be as mindful as possible. I don't let the thoughts bother me or distract me. If I do have to think about a problem, I think about the problem mindfully. In other words, I say to myself, how can I fix this issue with the tools and the knowledge that I have at the time? I gather evidence and facts, and I work on the issue. But reacting to an event or to a person never really fixes things. Building a circle of meaningful and trustworthy friends. That's a big one. How many of you guys have a circle of meaningful and trustworthy friends? And I'm saying, I'm not talking about Monica, who calls you every evening at 6 to nag at you all the time about her problem, and you give her answers and she never uses them. She never follows your advice, and she calls you every freaking day. That's what I call an energy vampire. Get rid of her. So, how many friends out there that you have that really are meaningful? And when I say that is when you see them, you feel a great positive energy. They're not draining you. You want to be with them. They attract you. They don't repel you. Trust me, I've had friends like that before. I had friends where I felt compelled to help, and they always had the same issue. They didn't want to change. And every time I saw them, I felt that repelling energy. What do you do when you feel that? You just avoid those people altogether. So you're probably going to ask yourself, well, how about family? I have a couple of people in my family that are draining me. What is that saying? You can choose your friends, but not your family? Well, that's true. So, well, if it's your husband or your wife, well, remember, they are not blood family. That's why a lot of people are divorced, because they can easily get rid of them, right? Now, the way to handle issues within your family is very, very difficult, but achievable when you use what I call love. Okay, love is a state of being. It's not a state of mind. So when you yell at your significant other, or you yell at your children, or you yell at whoever, you're not being a loving person. Although you claim to love them, well, I have news for you. You have, at that very particular moment, you have ceased to love yourself, and them, because you're yelling. You can fix problems by just explaining to the other person your point of view mindfully. Gather evidence and fact and show them to them. So it's about communication, and I'm sure this is a corny word, communication. I would add mindful communication. Mindful communication. It means that you're here and now, and you're not trying to compete and see who is going to be emerging victorious out of that match of argument. So do not argue. Just choose to agree to disagree, and then present the fact, and even switch position by showing the person why you feel that, or why you think that way, and how you see things. What you see is not necessarily what they see. In order for them to see them, you need to show them, or switch position and show them your perspective. So that all flows into that meaningful and trustworthy friends, avoiding energy vampires, communication in a family. The next one, still in the emotional reservoir, say no more often and when necessary. You guys, did you know that sometimes saying no is actually saying yes to yourself? Saying no to others sometimes is saying yes to yourself. Let me explain to you. If you're always bending over to help people or to be at the disposition or dance to the drum beat of others, you cease to love yourself, because inside you know you want to say no. You know that you don't want to do the things that they want to ask you. Well, saying no is not it doesn't make you become a bad guy or bad person. Not at all. When you say no and you can claim and explain, back that up with the reasons why you say no, people understand. But when you say yes and you don't want to do it, you actually are making, a great disservice to yourself. And that in turn affects everyone around you, because you put yourself in that, low level of existence. And I call that the position of low self-esteem instead of claiming your self-worth. When you say, I'll give you an example. My daughter calls me and says, "Dad, can I have $500? No. That's it. Or a friend calls you and say, "Hey, Roger, do you think you can do this?" And you know deep down that you can't. You say, "Hey, Philip, no, I can't, and this is why." Roger will understand. But saying yes to something you don't want to do is insane and will deplete your emotional tank. Developing a passion. That's a big one. Dora, I remember when I told you the story of these guys jumping on stage and their arms, in the air, and they claiming, go, and asking people, go and get a passion. Go get a passion, as if the passion was something you could get at the grocery store. You could buy a pack of 12 passions, please. You just can't do that. You can't do that. Why? Let me tell you this. People tell me after those incredible, uplifting, motivational seminars that they come home and 2 days later they feel worse than before. And I'll tell you why. Because they were asked to look for something that did not exist in the first place. A passion. When you say go find a passion, you're just telling the person to go find something that doesn't exist. And I'll tell you why. A passion first has to be what we call a skill. And before it's even a skill, it has to be an activity. So how do you develop a passion? You first take a pen and a paper and write down 4 or 5 different activities that you'd like to partake in. Then go try them. And by the way, you can have more than one passion at a time. And when you find the passion or you find the activity you like, and then you have now built that activity into a skill, that skill, when it's mastered, becomes a passion. That skill, when it's mastered, becomes a passion. I want you to understand that. You just don't get a passion, look for a passion, or ask for a passion other than building it.
Nordine, I'm going to jump in real quick and do a quick time check. We have almost 10 minutes left, and I want to make sure we let the audience know to send in any questions. But one point I really want to cover, since we have the majority of our audience our early career or experienced career, I'm going to make sure that we connect it back to the office. So when you think about the mental boost and the emotional boost within the office, what are some things or what are some strategies that you can give our members, what they can do when in order to get those boosts that they need?
Yeah,
throughout the day?
The office is always, I've been in office. I was a director, manager, and I know the environment that lives in the office. And what I say to people is this: the way you wake up in the morning is the way, and the way you feel in the morning is the way you're going to be going through your day, and that's including going to the office. So if you get in the office with a negative mood, an attitude, it's just going to go downhill from there. So what do? Well, like I said earlier, the meditation helps tremendously. The amount of sleep, and I'm going to go through that right now. So again, the list of the boosters for emotional fitness is in front of you. You can glance at it. You can take a picture or write it down. That's fine. That's the rest of it. Okay, physical fitness. Now, this is going to answer your question, Dora. Now, if you are not eating a balanced and healthy meal, what do you think is going to happen throughout the day at the office? Dora.
I'm going to fall asleep.
You fall asleep, low level,
No energy.
your blood sugar, no energy, your blood sugar is down. And when you have no energy, how is your mood?
Cranky.
When you're cranky, what happens?
You don't get along with your peers.
Exactly, and they resent you. So then you run into the cafeteria, eat a big cinnamon roll with a big coffee, and you come back full of energy, and hey. 30 minutes later, you're worse than before. So eating is actually 60% of the equation when it comes to balanced sugar levels or blood sugar levels, a well-rounded, good attitude and mood throughout the day. The nutrition aspect is crucial. 60% of success in anything is based on nutrition. Now, are you getting enough restful sleep? What do I mean by that? Well, do you fall asleep fast? And do you wake up fast? And do you feel energized in the morning? That's getting a good night's sleep. Are you exercising 3 to 5 days a week? And I mean exercising, not just going to the gym to chat, or even I've seen people get in their car with the good intention of going to the gym, and they get a phone call. They end up, at a bar for happy hour instead of going to the gym. So exercising 3 to 5 days a week is crucial. That has tremendous effect on not only your body, but also your mind. The yearly checkups for those over 40 and even starting at 30, when we are busy working in the office and we go through an enormous amount of stress, we forget to take care of our health. Guys, once a year, please just get a full yearly checkup. You know how many people are saved every year because they have that? And you know, the checkups are very, you know, it's a routine checkup. It's not a big. There's it's not a big deal, really. It's the doctor just checking your heart, your blood pressure, your vitals, and maybe if she or he sees that he deems to have you do a stress test, which is walking on the treadmill, do it. It's really worthy. It's really a good thing to do. Now, these are the physical stressors or physical stress. When you feel like you're clenching your fist, squinting your eyes when you're staring at something, excessive, just be mindful of that. Jaw clenching, muscle tension. When you're in the office and you feel all that, stop it. Go take some a break. Go walk or take 3 minutes deep breathing exercises. Do it, because that really shows that you're under tremendous stress. This is to boost your physical fitness, eating right, of course, getting enough sleep, hydrating. Napping is a big one. Not many companies like to let their employees do that, but I heard that Amazon is going to try to bring some what we call a napping pods. They're all through Japan. They're developing them here. Now, what's next? Spiritual. Your spiritual aspect of your life is tremendously important to the balance of your whole being. Since we don't have much time left, Dora, I really want some questions, if we have some questions. So I'm going to go over these real quick, if you don't mind.
And I actually think this is probably part of the most critical part here for me.
All right. So spiritual fitness, it's not a woo-woo thing, guys. It's not. Spiritual fitness is part of you. If that part of you is not functioning, then you're running on low tanks or on 3 cylinders. Do you earn the need to connect with nature? Do you feel like you need to go out there and connect with nature? Are you driven by something other than the material world? In other words, if today you had $10 billion, do you think that would bring that, would satisfy your soul? Do you feel connected to others? Do you feel, or do you love unconditionally? That means, oh, I love you even if you leave me tomorrow for someone else. I still love you because I want the best for you. That is love unconditional. What's not love unconditional is oh my God, you're leaving me. I cannot live without you. That is not love. It's called attachment. Do you care about the world? Really? Do you care about the world? Not just America, but the world. Here are the things that I love to do to boost my spiritual fitness. I love hiking. I absolutely adore hiking. It really puts me at the top, and I'm connected to my self-worth, and I feel like I can do anything. Learning a new skill or a new language until it becomes a passion. Reading positive things. Listening to relaxing music. Going on a journey. Going on a journey is not the same as going on a vacation. Sometimes you come back from a vacation, you need some vacation from the vacation. Now, going on a journey is like, I have this place in Sedona, and I like to go there, and I go on a journey. I go and just on a hiking journey, on a meditation journey, all kinds of things that I organize for myself. So go on a journey, volunteer to help a cause. I volunteer. You guys won't believe how my schedule is packed every week. But every week when I'm in town, I give 2 hours to the Gospel Rescue Mission, and I volunteer at a homeless shelter.
That's great.
Serve meal.
So I do want to remind the audience to go ahead and send in questions if you have any while we go through the final slide.
Exactly. So when you volunteer, you're not volunteering for a cause only. You're volunteering to make a better world. It's a very spiritual. It's a great spiritual activity to do. You know, there's a saying that goes something like this. I think it's Joe Polish, a friend of mine, who said it. Life gives to the givers and takes from the takers. Life gives to the givers and takes from the takers. That should sum up that volunteering to help a cause. And this is a quote that I absolutely adore that hits the point of this whole webinar. Man surprised me most about humanity because he sacrifices his health in order to make money. Then he sacrifices his money to recuperate his health. And then he's so anxious about the future that he does not enjoy the present moment. The result is that he does not live in the present or the future. He lives as if he's never going to die and then dies having never really lived. His Holiness the Dalai Lama. That should sum up this short presentation. Again, I apologize if you were not able to see me. Voila, Dora, is there any questions that you want me to answer?
We don't have any questions that have come in yet, but I do want to highlight my favorite phrase from you today, which is say no to others to saying yes to yourself. So that goes for the workplace, that goes for your family, to make yourself a better person.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, the importance of balancing the emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual aspects of one's life is crucial to happiness. And we must all thrive to reach that harmony between the four.
Okay. So do you have any final words for our audience?
Okay, yes, I do. Actually, it's in front of me right here. People spend most of their time thinking about what they don't want, and they wonder why it keeps showing up over and over in their life. So if you are not happy about something, then you need to go back to your head and assess the thoughts that you're thinking. Change your thoughts, and you'll change your attitude, which will change the results. If you want to manifest positive, good things, you have to think positive. You have to think about those things instead of thinking about how miserable you are, or how out of shape you are, or why you're not getting promoted. And that's not really helping you, guys. It will not help you. So if you feel negative, you can feel it in your body. And you just have to go back to your mind and look at the thoughts that you are thinking at the time. Change those, and you'll change your attitude. So if you get in the office and you're all angry for no reason, just catch yourself being that way and just get out and walk for 2 minutes. Take deep breath and come back and change those thoughts. In order to change your attitude, you need to change your thoughts. I hope this makes sense.
Oh, definitely. Those are great tips there. Okay, well, there you go, Ship Familia. Please join me in thanking Mr. Universe, Nordine Zouareg. These were great tips for for our members. So I thank you again. So Ship
Thank you,
Familia,
Laura.
yes, yes. All right, so Ship Familia, please remember to take our survey. You will receive a thank you email with the survey link after the webinar. So we need your feedback to make this program the best it can be. We hope to see you in February for webinar number 3 of Getting into Ship Shape. So our panelists will be Gino Jaramillo, who is better known as the Purple Squirrel, and he'll be presenting on Live Your Life Calendar to help you with tools to manage your time and goals more effectively, but most importantly, more ways to lessen your stress. So more information about lessening your stress, very important. So remember that this recording, along with the others, are found on our ship.org website in the programs tab. So signing off from Ship National, Nordine, good night. Ship Familia,
Good night.
buenas noches.